Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, whatever time of day it is, I don't really care. All that I care about is that we are here and we have something to look forward to. Namely being a show about optimism with some of my friends who've got wonderful smiles, especially a lovely young lady called Pauline. So let's talk a little bit about me for a moment and then we'll get everybody else on and we'll talk about them and some optimism. So just very briefly, my name is Matt Allen. I am founder of Kudos. Kudos is a business that is aimed at changing big business to be beneficial to us all through the beauty of our own unique miracles. Does that sound very confusing? Probably does, because it doesn't really explain anything about what I do, but it explains enough to be able to make you think, perhaps I should find out what that's all about. I like to have chats with people. I like to talk to you for a little bit about you and what you do, find out about that, and then share a little bit about the change that is possible through us, the change that is possible through the power of people, the change that is possible through harmony, unity, and bringing ourselves together to make change for the good of humanity. Not just as we stand today, the people and the world that we are, but the future of all of us for all time. Because it's about time that we made changes. We're no longer in the dark ages where we need to enable the powers that be to have the power over us. Instead, we should take that power back because we are the people and we are the unity that is all of us and the love that we share and the humanity that we share. So that's enough about me. If you would like to have a chat, get in touch. You've got my details in the comments or wherever you found this live show from. Let me bring on board a few of my wonderful guests this evening. I'm going to just bring them all on, the people in the room here. So hello, and Pauline. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hi, Matt.
Okay, so I know most of you, but there's one person that I don't know incredibly well. I've seen her in comments and posts and things. Would you like to introduce yourself and tell me and everybody else a little bit about you, Sia? Preferably not on mute.
Of course, you would think I would check that I'm on mute or not. Not like
You're
I
the
produce
professional,
shows
not us.
anyway. My name is Sia, and if you want to learn my last name, it's Yasso Tornrat. Just call me Sia. I'm over it. And
good.
I am a digital content strategist and producer. So I have my own content creation agency. So I help our business clients, mostly technical and technology, help define their story and message in our social media age.
Wow, that's concise. It's very well planned out, mate, some might say. In fact, if you hadn't messed about with Mike at the beginning, some might say that you're the consummate professional.
Oh, no. No, we know that's not the case.
Okay,
I mean,
okay.
I've got my Who concert T-shirt on, so I don't think that'd be considered the most professional.
Oh, well, but very personable at the same time. So we'll go for everybody else. We'll go across the screen and then we'll go downwards and we'll finish up with Carrie in the corner. So, Goulet.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm Kule Cortis. Hashtag Kule Sorted. And that should really say it all. Well, my main
Doesn't though. Tell them more.
I mean, Kule Sorted. I mean, I just love helping people, and whatever the issue is around businesses, I can come and help you sort it. But I really like to practice and put my help towards young entrepreneurs, young businesses who are coming into this lovely new world of entrepreneurship and often forget the basics, which is the foundation. And I help basically keep that foundation solid so they can keep pushing on with their business at the front, and I'll support them and push them upwards and upwards.
That's cool. Oh,
That's
to be
cool.
young again. If only I'd lost them maybe 10, maybe 30 years. Maybe you could help me. Polly sat there smiling on mute. Has Sia been coaching you about how to do social media at all? You're still on mute.
It's because I had a sneeze, so I put it on mute. You know, when you get a sneeze and you have to give your smile away to a sneeze. So I'm Dr. Pauline Crawford. I'm not a medical doctor. I just happen to be a doctor of entrepreneurology. We'll come back to that in a minute. But my passion is authentic harmony between men and women and all sorts of diverse groups. So between children and their parents, between grandparents, but is at a bit of a crossroads of not understanding authentic harmony and getting into arguments about things that are really not useful. So I have a very optimistic view of the world, that we actually have a potential now to have authentic harmony leaders in business and in society and communities, and people like you, Matt, making the world a better place by bringing philanthropy into the world. We've all got enough. We just need to organize it in a better way. So I believe in heart-centered leadership and sharing and caring, and maybe just doing a bit of dancing as well. I have a passion for dancing.
Now we're talking. I'm sure we've had this conversation about. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm sure we've had this conversation about you singing in the past, and maybe not in this room, but in a different one. But
No,
maybe
no.
we can have a dance demonstration.
I don't sing. I love dancing. If I had a magic wish, I would like to be on Dancing with the Stars. Dancing, that would be absolute.
Maybe we can make that happen next week or something. Carrie.
Yes, hi, I'm Carrie Core, and I am a screenwriter and a film director. And I'm using the magic of movies to open people to understand who they really are, their authentic self. And then around that, we're building a community where people can go and explore that further and get support and resonance in that, so that we can raise the vibrations and bring more love, compassion, and joy to the world. So the films are based on characters that people can relate to in terms of finding themselves, and the stories are engaging, entertaining, and we can come in and get people who maybe aren't interested in that, in finding their authentic self or knowing what that even is, and just through entertainment be opened a little bit and then go and resource that out.
So I feel like this tiny little person now, because everybody is just so awesome. I would like to say, shout out to LinkedIn for the fact of how amazing the people are that I meet on a day-to-day basis. New people, old friends. I say old friends, I've not been here that long, but just amazing people that fill everybody else's lives with smiles and happiness and love. Like a lot of my posts tend to be either posts about talking about good things and optimism and cheeriness and smiling and value that people have, or they tend to be reposts of wonderful people like you guys about the wonderful things that you are doing and bringing about change and happiness in the world, because that tends to be what I see on LinkedIn. Originally, when I joined, I used to see a lot of stuff from people like BlackRock and stuff like that, and I used to spend my Saturday mornings replying to comments from people on BlackRock and their advertising team, I'm sure, rather than actual people, about their philosophy on world economics. And I used to have challenges with them about how they were wrong about how economics works. Instead, now I get to talk to wonderful people like you guys and the people in the comments, and just miracle people. I didn't used to use the word miracle. I used to talk about other things. But over time, over the last couple of months, I've come to realize that miracles exist, and actually a lot of miracles happen through LinkedIn. And that's just the miracles of me finding people who are aligned with making changes in the world for the positive benefit of other people, because we all love each other and we love all the people in the world. The world's not full of hate. The world is full of optimism for better things. Sometimes we're missing a little bit of the systems that we need to be able to deliver on that optimism. Sometimes we're missing a little bit of activity to deliver the optimism into reality. And then I like to talk about building on that optimism from the point of we've made something happen. Let's be optimistic about what's coming next, not just what we can do now, not just what's going to happen in a couple of months or what the future holds, but really what's the big changes that we can make to everybody's lives, not just our generations. And there's a couple here. There's us older ones, and then there's Carrie, and then there's Sia at the very beginning of life. She looks like, and I'm going to say this I don't say things well. I'm going to say something I think sounds nice, but you're probably going to feel very insulted. But you look like a teenager compared to me. So, yeah, I quite often insult people without realizing it. It's not personal. It's just the fact that I'm not very clever. So, yeah.
I have a mentality of a 12-year-old, so I don't even know if I got to the teenage phase. So thank you, though.
Thank you for sharing that. It's not that sort of show, but hey, if you want to confess up about things, feel free. So I'm just going to open the floor because you guys are phenomenal, and I think you all have some important messages about optimism. And everybody's heard enough of my voice and it's starting to go, I need a drink. Somebody speak, please. Not all at once.
I mean, no one's ever accused me of not being the one to speak up. So I'm just gonna pick on Dr. Pauline. You've got such a beautiful smile. And there's something to be said about when you give freely to someone, or you give optimism, light, hope, oftentimes it starts with a smile. Do you agree with that statement?
Absolutely. I'd like to tell the story that I told them in the green room, that and I have evidence of this. That I wrote a diary between the age of 18, and on the 17th year, and I wrote in my diary, which I can photocopy. I've still got the diary, all handwritten. I'm sitting in my bedroom and I'm looking at my appearance and I'm deciding what's good and what's not good. I had really dark hair, lovely hair in the day, and I said, not like my eyes, they're a bit too small, but I love my smile. And I've decided to smile all my life because it's going to make me look more beautiful. It would take away from the bits I don't like. But I made this comment in there, and it was written in the handwriting of a very unconfident 17-year-old. I said, I don't understand why adults don't smile. It's free and it's so easy and it makes other people happy. And that was just my innocence. And I still believe it. I don't understand why people don't smile. Obviously, there are times which are sad and we have to take that into account. But generally, have a smiling, have a relaxed, smiling face. And also, it's much better for the lines.
I ask you this quite often, Pauline. Can you tell everybody how old you are?
On the 23rd of this month, I'll be 74.
No way. Yay.
74. And look at her dancing away. That is the real definition of a miracle. Like if there's somebody, and I'm a bit renowned for doing too much work sometimes, but if there's somebody who would keep up with me, I think, Pauline, it is you. I think we message each other at the beginning and the end of the day, of each other's end and beginning of the day.
Well, I think it's something about being British but living in Vegas, because when I wake up in the morning, I'm very conscious that it's afternoon in England, and if I want to plant or my family. And then I used to live in Malaysia, which is the other end of the day. So when I get to 6 o'clock, I'm thinking about so my day is always long, but because I design it that way. And I have been told by really good friends that I'm annoyingly optimistic.
Nothing annoying about that.
Well,
I resonate with that.
Yeah, me too.
I get exactly the same comments.
yeah.
Always.
Do you want to share with everybody how old you are? This is really going to surprise you. Like, Pauline, no offense. Again, I say the wrong things. Like, but this one.
Well,
let's just first of all let's go round and say how old you are. Right. I'm going to go for 22.
I'm right there with you. I was going to say 23, just because she has a little bit more experience. I feel like she's wiser than a 22-year-old.
Okay, Pauline.
I'll be 47 then. See, so where I'm going to
47. Yeah, you're obviously more blind than what I am. Carrie?
I'm sticking with yours, 22.
Well,
Well,
where you go, Gulay?
I'll share with you that it was one of my 3 birthdays yesterday, and I'm 61 soon.
Oh,
excellent. Good.
Your hair is banging, man.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I want your hair.
And I used to be very dark.
It's
I
good
used
to
to
be
look like-
mature.
Yes, but again, it's the smile, isn't it? Because people say, well, how do you stay so young? And it's basically looking after yourself, smile, and not worry.
Yes.
Yes.
Not
So-
worry
Yes.
is being optimistic, I think.
And
No,
that's
Mhm.
being optimistic and always thinking, tomorrow will be better.
Yep.
Yes.
you going?
No, it says May Raju has just said hi, Sia, so I just want to say
Oh,
hi
okay.
back discreetly, not so discreetly.
Right.
I know. I don't know how to spastically not spaz. Like, I don't know how to do the subtle art of like, hello.
Okay, so let's then say hello to some people in the chat, because I don't do this very often. Like, quite often anyway. Hello May, hello Raki, hello Ken. Please don't start commenting about my suit or my appearance, please. Hi Janice. Hello Janice again. Brian. Oh, is Brian here? Brian Sagre. Raki.
Brian.
Yeah, that's all the people. Nobody else has
Amber.
bothered to turn up. If anybody else can see anybody, Amber. Hello,
Amber's
Amber.
there.
Yeah,
Amber's
if I
there.
don't say hello to Amber, that's it. I'm
Nicole.
Nicole.
Nicole's there. And Ken, by the way, is begging to be asked his age. So if anyone wants to ask him, you're welcome to.
I know his age.
What?
And to be fair, nobody else can see Ken, so I think people have seen Ken before, but yeah, he's a lot younger than what he looks. Oh,
Well,
sorry, I've said that wrong as well, haven't I? I told you I'm not very good at the compliment thing. So anyway, back to the subject. See ya.
So,
Carrie?
yeah. Well, let's get to my age.
Okay, we'll get.
I didn't want to
Yes.
touch on that.
No, go, please. Get
I'm
something.
going to say 47.
I'm not going to guess. When I lived in Malaysia, I got every single person's age wrong. Because
That was
everybody
Malaysia.
is
He
older.
lives down the road from you. You better be polite to him.
Yeah. Well, I'm 60 as well.
You're 60. I was gonna say you're cool because you have a guitar in your back. So I'm like, someone that's cool's gotta
Well,
be.
Yeah, I don't know about I do have a guitar and I kind of play it, but not that well. So I'm not cool with the guitar. But I guess optimism is what keeps you going and knowing that every day is a new fun challenge, right? So
Yeah.
that just keeps you young, no matter what the outside says.
I agree.
In fairness, all of you look a lot younger than what you do. I look a bit older than what I am. But hey, I've had a rough life, honest.
Well, actually, Ken's saying that, Matt, Ken's written that you were such a suave, debonair, sophisticated gentleman.
Yeah, he says that to everybody. It's not just me. It says it to everybody. It
And your
makes
voice
it
is
sound as though he's
handsome.
talking about me. He's just got copy and paste, and he copy and pastes it to everybody. He'll be saying that about you soon, Paulie. But you are. It's just that he'll be saying that about everybody. So yeah, he needs to create something special for me next time. That's the point. He needs to be more optimistic. You know what I mean?
Well,
So who am I
I'd
going
like to share I'd like to share something that it's very important that you accept compliments back. Because a compliment is a gift. And when you give a gift to somebody, you don't expect them to throw it away. And it's really important. So many people throw away compliments. They, oh, no, I'm not like that. But actually, it's very important that you say, oh, my God, thank you.
That's
And
it.
just allow it to settle with you.
Thank you for that reminder. I'm horrible with compliments, so I have to remember that it's a gift. So thank you. That's hard. That's hard. Because you don't. I think at sometimes when you do receive a compliment, you do want to come off as humble too, right? And not quote expect that compliment, right? So, but no, that's a great point you
Imagine
make.
that the compliment is wrapped up in the best wrapping paper and it's got a beautiful bow on it, and somebody has put an effort into it and they're giving it to you. So if you imagine it like that, you go, thank you.
Oh, that's awesome. Ooh.
Let me tell you something about presents. I'm the sort of guy who, when he gets an Easter egg, when he was younger, he used to unwrap the Easter egg, take the sweets out the middle of the Easter egg, put the Easter egg back, wrap it again, and then tell his mum, Mum, there's no Easter egg like chocolates inside the Easter egg. My mum would write off to the Easter egg company like Roundtree's or whoever it was. And now I'm showing the age. And tell them my son didn't get his Easter egg sweets inside of his Easter egg. And then they'd send us a box of chocolates.
Oh
So
my gosh.
my experience has taught me if you refuse the gift at first, they keep on giving until it gets better. So I that's the way that works. It's just the way I am.
Oh, you are cheeky as a kid. Woo-wee, your poor mom had a
You should
handful
try
on
me now.
her.
I'm much worse now. Anyway, moving on.
I don't mind
I
sharing my
appreciate
age if you guys want to guess.
we guessed already, and you confirmed it. You're 12. Anybody else want to guess? Oh,
Wow, that's a difficult one, isn't it?
Well,
Now,
I just realized I wasn't planning on going live, and so my lighting is really off and dark. So normally I'm a little bit more lit up, but
gosh,
again, I would like to point out you're the consummate professional. It's good to see you planning ahead.
I know.
how
No,
about 35?
35.
Yeah, I was going to say somewhere in the early 30s.
Carrie?
I'll say 28.
I'm going to go 32. Omar?
36.
Oh, I love all of you. The answer is yes. I'll take all of them. No, it's funny. As you guys were guessing, I was like, "Oh shoot, how old am I?" I forgot.
Oh,
So-
you're much older then.
Well, it's like I actually had this conversation a month ago. I thought I turned 21 on a certain year, and then finally someone just goes. I was talking to a bunch of my old high school friends. They're like, "What are you talking about, dude? You were 21 a year before." So, like, my numbers are all off and out of whack. So, but I am going to be 49 in August.
Wow.
Oh,
You are older than me.
Yeah, I am. Ha 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 ha. Told you, maturity of a 12-year-old helps.
Well, on that basis, I should definitely look younger than you because I have the maturity of about a 4-year-old. Moving on. Omar. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
A man of
I'm
many
back.
words this evening.
What's the discussion? Optimism or?
Well, first of all, we're discussing people's ages and how impressively
Oh,
young
time to
compared
guess
to
my
how old
age
they
now,
actually
right?
are.
I'll tell you, I'm the youngest of everybody here, I'm sure.
You probably are. I think you're about 42.
Close. No.
No. Anybody else want to guess?
It's hard to say.
He's very close. He's very close. Yeah.
Okay, we'll just all say 42.
84.
44.
44.
I actually think you're younger.
Down. down.
I think you're younger. I think you're more 38.
84.
Are you born?
84.
You're 84.
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
He was
Yes,
born in
the,
1984. That's what
chemicals
he's
are
saying.
helping.
Oh,
The
You're 38.
You were
Born
born in 84.
Born in 84.
Born.
84.
So you're
That's
10 years younger than me.
Congratulations.
I'll be 39 end of this year.
okay.
Okay.
You'll be 39 in a year.
End
Wow.
of this year.
End of this
November.
year.
I thought you meant you're 38, but you'll be 39 next year. Yeah. My ears obviously
5
need
months or so.
cleaning this evening. So, Umar, would you like to tell everybody who you are? Because you've turned up late.
Absolutely. I think Gular and you know who I am. My name is Omar from Arizona, and I've seen most of you already on your podcast. I do a Zoom Party program. It's a game show on YouTube and also LinkedIn. I did the live one with Freeman and what's his name, Jamie Edwards, the other day. And I saw your show, Sai. You used the bell the other day, right? So I mentioned you. I said you use a bell, so I was trying to do that because I've been watching you and on the other day. So and I'm in Arizona and I'm enjoying it. Yep. So that's a little bit about me.
I love that. I use too many sounds. That's probably the problem. You should not give me a soundboard to play with.
Is that vodka?
Okay. First off, no. Today was much more relaxed. Yesterday was straight up whiskey, but today's water because I had too much whiskey. I mean, apple juice. I had too much apple juice.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks. I didn't do that at the right point. I was trying to get you to splurt out the water, but it didn't work. Sorry.
I'm sure it'll come out soon.
So maybe if I need to do a sound, maybe I can help. You can come in and you can, who knows, help me out with some sounds in my program one day.
Oh no! Hey,
Who
you
knows?
just tell me and I'll play it. But I love
knows?
trivia. Like, what made
Yeah.
you launch a show just out of curiosity?
Yeah, the pandemic, everybody was locked in. So I was working with my regular job. I'm a technical trainer with a company called T-Tech. And one day I was just on YouTube. I was like, I love game shows all of my life. And I was like, let me go ahead and create this through PowerPoint. So I programmed it. I put it together. So if you check out Zoom Party, and actually I played the game for Alan's group like a month ago. So he was on the spot. So I did some trivia questions. But yeah, I just love hosting. I mean, I've always loved game shows. Who doesn't like game shows, right? It's just an awesome. You
Okay,
learn
we
stuff.
might do that today, but you need to make the questions a bit like for the older generation. They're all a bit old.
Make it harder or easier.
Bring it. Bring it.
Ah,
You're older
that's
than
a
me.
good one.
We already established that. So sitting there going like this makes no difference. You're older than me. You
So
said it.
since we're here, yeah, that's a good idea. Let me pull up the board from the game from last week, and I'll give you
You
a
do that.
category.
You do
Whenever
that.
you're
We're
ready.
going to talk about optimism for 2 minutes.
Yes.
The people
I
have
think that's
come
what they
along
should.
to hear about optimism. We can't just sit here and have fun like every other show. Let's talk about optimism for a moment.
Okay.
So, Gula,
Yes.
tell us about optimism for you. What does the future hold for you that you are optimistic about, or something like that?
Well, the thing is, as an optimist, whatever is going to happen is going to happen. And you've got to keep yourself open. Remember, you have to keep yourself open to receive. And that's the optimism. And things will come your way. And it's the law of attraction. But I think in general, all of us together, and again, it's about collaboration all together. And I remember hearing Pauline about it a couple of weeks ago, I think, on the show as well. It's really that light that we need to keep shining. It's that light, and we need to show people that optimism and that light, because the message I'm giving to people is like, don't let anyone turn off that light. Keep that light shining, and the bigger we are as a collaborative, jointly all together, the light will be stronger. And I always say the world is not just going to disappear. You know, it's us that's going to disappear. We will disappear if we turn off the light in ourselves. And so if we together keep that light shining, keep yourself open, stop worrying, don't take too much in, keep your journey facing towards your light.
Very
And
nice.
Absolutely.
Am I allowed to applause that?
yeah.
I'll ask you again. Is that vodka?
Okay, I'm in Texas. It's moonshine, honey.
Okay. Yeah. Well, sorry, UK. Carrie, would you like to share with us something that you're optimistic about, or your view of optimism for the future, or something like that?
Absolutely. Optimistic about the future because I see through my grown children that there's so much potential, and they're starting to learn that they're limitless.
Yeah.
And that limitlessness that hasn't been around for a while in people's minds is just opening them up, and the younger people are seeing that they can do so much. There's so much more connected in the world than I could ever have dreamed of being. And I mean, we are now, and I'm grateful because all of you now I'm connected to, but they do that like it's, you know, it's normal, it's natural. And because of that, they see that there's limitless potential, that things can happen anywhere in the world for themselves, for a better life for them, just for them personally, and also in the world. They see it in their peers, and they're just constantly looking forward, even though they are under the specter of climate change and thing. They still look forward and see that world out there that's much bigger for them than it was for me in my eyes at the time. And that makes me really optimistic because you know, there's hope for them coming on board and making changes that we need.
Yeah. Amen to that, brother.
Yeah.
That is so awesome. Pauline, we're going to come to you in a minute. It's going to be ladies last. Not that the other two aren't ladies, but you know,
No one's ever accused me of that.
You're the matriarchal figure. I'm just not saying anything right, am I? Maybe we'll have a little jig off of you. Anyway, see ya.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. You're making me laugh. So can I just tell
that
you, I'm like,
you laugh. I should
like-
be the one who's sorry for the bad jokes.
they're so bad, they're good. That's what it is. And you're lucky you're in a safe space and people who know, like, and trust you. So you can say whatever you want. I'm pretty confident you're going to get the slides. So, no, I have to say, I'm like beyond excited. So light is my word of the year. And I actually launched my business this year after parting ways with my business partner. And I called it Brilliant Beam Media because so much of the business is about collaboration with so many people on LinkedIn. And I have this saying where it's funny because we all have our own personal lights. And there are going to be days when it's going to be thunder, cloudy. You don't know what's going on because there's so much doubt, fear, self-questioning, all that when our own light dims, to have a community of people share their light with you, it just creates a broader, bigger, brilliant beam. And so when you were talking, I'm just like, hell yeah. I was actually texting on the side here, all excited. So optimism to me is a temporary state, just like pessimism is. So if you lean into the light of opportunity, of curiosity, I feel like it just makes you overcome anything negative faster. And I think that's why I tend to lean more optimistic. You can't control everything in life, people, right? So what you can control, have fun with that. Other things, let it sweat it off your back.
That's it. Wow.
Excellent. Pauline, so maybe this is springing you on a little bit, but you have something coming up, a masterclass that's going to help people with optimism. Do you want to talk about that now or in a bit?
Absolutely. Because I'm very optimistic that we can lead the world in a different way.
Yeah.
So I believe that a lot of people don't know what they don't know, and they don't even know that they don't know what they need to know. So coming from that base, if we look at the world and we see all the bad stuff, you know, the harassment of men and women, the corporate world, the social world and everything, but just focusing on the corporate world, I'm really keen that we should put a heart back into business. So my company is called Corporate Heart International, and I've run this since 1999 in England, when I actually was working in a very posh office and paid lots of money, and I was very unhappy. And I thought, what the hell is going on? There should be a corporate heart. So I went to the company's house, and I was really impressed that the name Corporate Heart was available. I thought, there's a sign. So for me now, I'm running a masterclass, which is to help men and women who are leaders to understand that if they're incredibly efficient at business, the one thing that might get in their way is the relationship with the other people around them, because that's where the tensions come from. Why aren't they doing it like me? Why are they misunderstanding me? All those things, especially with women and men coming into the workplace together and all come there. So I want to empower men and women. So I'm running a masterclass starting next week. I like to do things urgently. So it's actually starting next Wednesday for 3 Wednesdays, and I will do this every month. And it will be 9 hours in total, a class of 8. And I'm going to share with them this amazing map that I've designed for the world. So I've made a map for authentic harmony, which has got different types of men and women on. And actually, when you get into these archetypes, of the philosopher, the magician, and the sovereign, and you start playing games which are serious games, you can turn things around. And that's my dream, is to allow people, to give them permission to be who they are. Because one of the challenges in life, once you've discovered who you are, is finding out who other people are who are not like you. That's where trouble turns up. And I was actually sharing with Carey only this morning that I've written this story script about these characters in a spaceship hurtling towards Earth, and their mission is to solve the disastrous things that's going on in Earth. And I put the woman in charge, and she's the captain, like Captain Janeway. And I wrote this in 2008. And look at the world now, post-pandemic. It's actually what it's about. And what's interesting is I couldn't quite work out how to write the ending because it's open to discussion. So once we know who these characters are, I'm not going to tell people how it's going to be to be part of this journey. So I'm looking for 8 wise who have budget to come on my program. And if anybody out there can come through this channel of Matt's, I'm going to pay him $100 for each person who signs up. So the course is actually $639, which, as some of you might know, Tesla's magic numbers. If you don't, look up Tesla's magic numbers. But you get 9 hours of deep dive into how you could be a wonderful leader. And for everybody who comes through here, Matt gets $100. So it's what I call a win-win.
If anybody comes through me and tells you that they've come through me, then that $100, that will go to, who do you represent? The
Kudos.
No, not Kudos.
What?
The Rotary Club, that thing.
Oh, okay.
The Rotary
Club of Global Impact.
Yes.
There we go.
Cool. So I believe that is a charity or something like that in America.
It was international, if anybody knows about Rotary clubs. They're all
Rotary.
And one of my passions for becoming president there in July is to make sure that we educate the youth of the world. And I'm not just talking about the little ones, but the 15 to 18 plus, who are desperately confused today about what they can be and do. And I really want to make sure that we get the right leaders and we also educate the youth. And I think once we do that, boys and girls alike, we can change economic development, we can change society, we can change everything. But as Carey mentioned, you know, I've got teenage grandchildren, and they're the ones who are inheriting the world. So we need to make sure that they have an open-minded, heart-centered leadership mind and optimism.
Very good. So, anybody wants to sign up? There is a post on my feed that has the link to your post where they can go. And then once that they've signed up, if they message you and tell you to donate the $100 to the
Yes.
Rotary Club. Yes?
So once they pay up, I'll pay up.
Oh, yeah, they need to pay it first, not just, yeah. I agree with that. Wholeheartedly.
And that's what I love about what you're about, Matt, is it we're helping each other to help each other.
Yeah. It's called Social Benefit Network, isn't it? Which basically means that unlike social networks of today, the future is about benefit for all of us.
Yes.
And doing that with a giving heart rather than a heart of greed, which is what most of the people who control those social networks are about. By giving more, we receive more, and we benefit each one of us in so many different ways. So I'm going to talk about, what was the subject again? Optimism. I'm going to talk about that in just a moment. First of all, Omar's going to give some little thoughts about what he wants to say about it. Then I'll have a quick word about it, and then we're going to have some fun and a quiz.
Yes. Okay.
None of you knew about this.
I have the questions ready this time. I'm prepared. Last time I had to come up with them.
I would like to say, anybody who leaves early now, you're also giving $100 to the so if you leave early, yeah.
Well, you know me, I'll
Really
say
giving no, we won't go that far. But Omar, optimism.
Optimism. Well,
Hey,
to go by that,
I apologize, Omar. Check your microphone.
can you? Oh, you can't hear me.
Take the microphone.
There you go. Get it closer to you.
Do I have to set it up? Maybe. Let me see.
No, you're good now. You were a little.
Are you good now? Okay. Yeah. Oh, perfect. Actually, I have to change it on here. One moment. I have to change it to the right microphone. There you go. How about now? Can you hear me much better?
Tap it.
yes.
Testing 1, 2.
Tap your mic.
Is it good?
Yeah, there you go. It's on. Yeah.
It's good. Okay. Perfect. Thank you. Awesome. All right. So optimism, the best way is to probably go with the definition of optimism, right? What is optimism, right? I think it is just being happy, right? Being happy at what you have, thinking positively at everything that happens to you, right? Other than the opposite of pessimistic, right? And I always tend to be that way, right? I mean, things happen to us all the time, but optimism is always a positive approach to life and things that happen. I mean, that is in a one word, one sentence answer, basically. I think that's all I can think of.
That's a good start. We'll come back to you in a minute, and you can think it's something proper to say. How's that? No. So let me fill in my thoughts. I basically agree with all of you. I'm going to hit on a couple of points that have been raised. First of all, put down the vodka. Thank you. That time it worked. There we go.
You almost got me there. Almost.
Yeah. Every time, don't you worry. So let's talk about light for a moment. I think none of you will have heard this because you've probably joined me a little bit after when I used to talk about this. So I believe in the light that is beyond the end of the tunnel, and we can see the light from the tunnel. And for me, it's the power of that light and how we're still able to see that, even though we're in a dark place in the tunnel. And it's about what's creating that light. And it's about people like all of you who are standing outside of that tunnel, outside of the darkness that exists for a lot of people, and shining your light so brightly, like so many other people, like many of the people in the comments, like so many people on LinkedIn and so many friends, all of the miracles of all of us that shine so brightly through the end of that tunnel showing people the way to live life in a more optimistic way because they can see our light shining for them. Now, I have a friend called Zion, and when I talked last about this with Zion, Zion said to me, some of those people in those tunnels, they actually still have their own light. And he's a very clever young man, because it's true. Like, even though it's dark in that tunnel, they all have their own little kindled light that's maybe not as bright as what it could be, but it's still there. It's still a human being. It's still opportunity and represents their future ability, or even just a moment's change, and that light can fill that tunnel that they are in. It's just they need to have some encouragement, or have somebody poke their hand back into the tunnel to say, the light is this way. It's just, just like Gula just showed. So, and we can put our hands in and help those people, and we can help as many of them as possible until all that there is no more tunnel, only light, because that is where we are heading. That is what optimism is about. It's where there is no more darkness, there is only light from what is beyond the end of the tunnel. And don't get me wrong, I know that there will always be some people in a tunnel somewhere, but the more people there is shining their light more brightly, the more easy it is for those people in those tunnels to see the light, and see people like our wonderful guests here this evening, who tell such wonderful stories and explain things in such diverse ways from all over the world in different ways that are just unimaginable and magical at the same time. My friend Rita, some of you know her. She was hoping to be here this evening, but she's not. I don't know why. She's probably busy, because she's a very busy lady, just like Pauline. She's exactly the same age as her. Rita made this post yesterday, I think it was. And she put a picture of a plaque that she got many years ago that talks about optimism, because she's a big optimism fan. In fact, she was a bit of the inspiration for tonight's show, and I'm a bit disappointed in her that she's not here. I'm going to have to have words with her afterwards. But Rita is 74 years old, and she is like a guiding light at the end of many people's tunnels. People tell me all the time about how wonderful she is, and she makes a real difference to people's lives, just like every one of you. And I think that's an important thing. Pauline, last time that you were on, we spoke, you, I, and Rita, and I said about the fact that we need to listen to our older generation, because in many respects, you guys have a light that is beyond what we can imagine. We have people here this evening, most of whom are older than me, including you, Sia. And the point is that, look how young, enthusiastic, celebratory, and just pure excitement there is that comes from you. The wealth of knowledge, the wisdom, the sparkling, amazing stuff that comes out of your mouths, and we can't shut you up because you're so excited about it all. And I say that in almost a bad way, but it's not. It's said with love, because I think what you guys say should be listened to, paid attention to, and we should try and live that by the way that we live our lives. Pauline, we were in a, what do you want to call that, an event yesterday? Should we call it an event?
Oh, yes, the Wisdom Circle, the World Wisdom Circle. Yes.
There was a chap there, I can't remember who it was that said it, but the guy said that he works with children. I can see the guy's face, but I can't remember his name. That happens at my age. And the thing was that he said he works with children, youngsters, young people, I think teenagers, probably just around Sia's age. And what he said was that these young people, they don't have hate. They don't feel hate, and they don't express hate for other people. And as much as we need to listen to the older generation about the wisdom and the useful things that we can learn from them, we also need to look at the younger generation at the same time and learn vital lessons from them, about acceptance and not hating each other and sharing love and aspiration and optimism for the future, despite how bad things seem to us for them. And we might think we really need to step in and make change for them. And yes, we do. But at the same time, there is still that light in every single one of them. We look and we think they're potentially in a very dark tunnel still. They all have that little light in their hands. And we look at that and we can guide them as older people to help them to get to the light and bring the real light to bear for the future of everybody for all time. So anyway, enough about what I've got to say. Omar, quiz time.
Very nice.
Yes. All right. We got 5 people. Are you playing, Matt? You want to play?
Yeah, I'm playing.
Okay. So it'll be 5 categories.
That'd be me.
All right.
Okay.
There'll be 5 categories. I'll give you the category and I'll pick the first player. We're going to go in a counterclockwise. Let's start with Pauline. Okay.
Yay!
All right. We're going to go with category is going to be chocolate. Okay?
Chocolate.
Yes. Okay. And okay, chocolate originated in this Mesoamerican region back in the 19th to 11th century BCE. The area is Guatemala, Honduras. What is this area called?
I don't understand the question. But say again.
What's the origin of chocolate? Where did it start? The area is called Mesoamerican region. And can you hear me clearly from the mic? Okay.
Yeah, no, I've got a hearing aid, so
I see.
I've
the
loved
region
chocolate all my life, and I have no idea where it comes from.
Where it originated? It's the area is Honduras, Guatemala, Mesoamerican. Anybody wanna help her out?
Guatemala.
Or you want to guess? Guess. Why don't you guess?
I'll guess Guatemala. I don't know.
What you said? What was her answer?
Guatemala.
Guatemala. Guatemala is the region. So that region with Guatemala and what is that part called? Anybody?
Oh, you mean the region? Is that not Central America?
Yes. That's it. You got it.
Central America.
Yes, Central America.
I'm going to do
Good
something
job.
weird every time that we have a question. Here's a little nugget of information for you. Every bit of chocolate has ground up bits of insect in it.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Really.
There's a legal amount that they will allow for.
Yep. And that's not because it drops in the factory. That is because the insects are inside the chocolate. And then when it inside the cocoa pod, effectively, and when it gets made, still in there.
Oh, wow.
Didn't know that, did you? Next question.
All right. And the next question with the gentleman on the right. All right.
Harry.
Your question, Carrie, is going to be category. Let me go back to my board here. We're going to go with, fun and games. Okay, here we go.
Fun and games.
I bet you wish that it was film, eh, Harry?
Probably.
A strategy game with a board of 64 squares. She's like, oh, I got it. And where 2 opponents play in a battlefield to capture a royal figure. What is this game called? Goodler's like, I saw the show.
I'll need help with that one.
You need help? All right, who wants to help? Mr. Nat.
You're probably thinking that the answer is chess, but it's not. It's drafts. Because drafts, you capture your queening at the end. Yes?
Chess is correct. You got it. Good job.
Draft?
Yes.
I've never heard of that.
Drafts. You don't know it again.
Is that the English equivalent of chess? I thought
Feeling very American at the moment there.
You just stick to vodka or moonshine or whatever it is.
I'll just keep sipping my moonshine.
Yeah, well done.
All right. Ready for the next one? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Carrie, do you want another question? No, let's
That's
go to
okay.
Gular.
Yeah.
Let's go to Gular. Okay. Let's see here. Aha. Do you know The Simpsons? You know
The
that popular
Simpsons.
show?
You
Yeah.
mean Simpsons?
From the cartoon, the I guess adult cartoon show that's in America, been on for a while.
Yeah, we don't have that in England.
Okay.
Yes,
Well,
we
this will be
do.
good. Let's give you a hard question then.
No. Just do the Simpsons.
Go on.
All right. All right. Name me the 5 main characters of The Simpsons. The 5 main characters.
Homer, Lisa, Bart. What's the father called again? Shit.
No, that's not his name.
That's the new kid, right? Is that the
Oh gosh, I can't remember the man's name.
So, repeat them again. Come on, one more time. Repeat
So we
them.
have, oh yeah, Homer is of course dad.
Yeah.
Lisa the sister. Bart.
Uh-huh.
Then Marjorie is the
Uh-huh.
mom. And then you've got
The
that
baby.
funny neighbor or so.
The baby. Yeah.
The baby. Oh yeah, the baby.
Yes, that one.
I remember.
That
Yeah.
one's not called shit either.
I can't remember her name.
Anybody want to help her?
Matt.
Starts with an M.
Go on.
Go on,
Starts
Matt.
with an M. Go ahead.
Okay, so first of all, small, insignificant, interesting thing about The Simpsons. 2 very exciting episodes that I remember. First one is Homer Simpson laying in the hospital bed, and he has an electronic control for the hospital bed, and he literally lies there pressing 2 buttons, one going up, one going down, and he sits there going, bed goes up, and he presses the button, the bed goes up. Anyway, I'm a bit sad. And then the other exciting episode, and I think we should do this with a LinkedIn Live sometime, is that they go to a therapy session. And what happens is that they all press an electric button and then they give electric shocks to the other people, something like that. Or they hit each other with something. I don't know. Whatever it is, we should do that next one. Who's up for that?
I'm kind of in for that.
Oh, that's 2 of them. Anybody else? Anyway, the baby is called Maggie.
Maggie.
Can I share a small little fun tidbit that like connects us Americans and you find folks across the pond? The Simpsons are actually rooted in a British comedian's original show. Do we know who that person is?
Oh yes. Gosh.
Tracy Ullman.
Oh, she's amazing.
And she was she's been on record to say something to the effect of I birthed those little yellow things or whatever. So yeah. They were the comic interlude in between her skits.
There you go. You're not just a vodka drinker, but you have excellent and general knowledge about The Simpsons.
Random. I know random stuff. I don't even watch TV, but random I know.
Did you know the answer to the question, or were you just asking the question?
I forgot Maggie. I actually forgot Maggie. Yeah. I knew everyone else but Maggie.
Okay, cool. Omar, next question. I believe that is for Sia.
It is actually.
Be gentle with her. She's older than me, significantly older than me, and she's got a bit.
As you were thinking and talking about that, I thought of another question. So it has to do with Maggie actually. So which late actress played the voice for Maggie for one episode? You probably remember who she is. She also played. I don't know, when did she pass away? She probably passed away. She was born 1932. She's actually born in London. And she did one episode where she died in 2011. And she did a voice for her in one episode.
And she said one word. I think she said one word too, didn't she?
Yes.
Is it Maggie Smith?
Is Maggie Smith? She's still alive, isn't she?
Yes.
Nope, not her.
So we need someone that's born in 1930. How old?
1932, and she died 2011. She played in the movie Cleopatra. That would probably help you.
Oh, Liza Minnelli.
Elizabeth Taylor?
Yes,
Taylor.
yes. Elizabeth
Taylor,
Taylor.
that's it.
Exactly. Yep.
She
that's
died in
right.
2011, huh? Wow.
Yes.
Ooh. She
Exactly.
okay. Here's another fun fact about Elizabeth Taylor. So everyone knows and comments how gorgeous her violet eyes were, right?
Yeah.
But did anyone know that her eyelids, her eyelashes, she actually has a genetic mutation where she actually has double the eyelashes. So that's
Oh.
why she had such deep, rich eyelashes to die for. She had them naturally. There were two rows.
Wow.
Interesting.
Again, random facts. Don't.
I have 2 rows of eyelashes as well. Some on the top one and some on the bottom one.
Well, mine are falling off, so maybe I could borrow some
Yeah.
of yours then.
No, I'm not up for that. That sounds very painful. Unless you give me some vodka to drink while I'm doing it.
Because when you get older, young man, you'll understand what I'm talking about.
At least we understand that I'm the young man in this equation. Anyway, Omar, my question,
All
please.
right, your
You can
question.
refer to me as young man from now on.
Yes, sir. Mr. Allen. Mr. Allen, sir. All right. Mr. Allen, your question is, I hope this is accurate, but what is airports is the category. Okay.
I'll
What?
give you the answer. The category is airports.
Okay. So he's named after a French airport. He was also the president or the prime minister of France. I don't know if that's an easy one. What's his name?
I'm going to say Poirot. No,
No.
Charles de Gaulle.
Yes.
That's it.
You got it.
That was
Good job.
easy.
Yeah, that was an easy one. Yeah, I was like, man, that's
Should
what
have
I
asked me
could.
something about Thomas
I
the Tank
protest.
Engine or something like that.
Filing a protest. That was way too easy.
That was very easy.
Yeah,
Okay,
that
Yeah, I
was-
think
give me a
I
harder one.
demand a redo.
Yeah, redo another question. Let me see. Oh, we'll keep giving questions. Aha! Who is the 35th president of the United States? Do you want me to give you more?
Yeah, please.
Okay.
You almost made me spit that one out. That was a good one.
All right. Let's see. Let me give you more. It's still going to be the same one, right?
Yeah, okay.
Let's see. That's an easy one though. Now that I mean, if I give you the clue, you're gonna know who he
To be
is.
fair, you think they're all easy because you've got all the flipping
That's-
answers. don't you?
When I tell you who this guy is, you're gonna be like, "What?" Okay. Before becoming the 35th president, he was president in 1961.
What?
Can I give a hint? Can I give one hint?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
I live in the town he may or may not have ended.
And then, yeah.
Yeah, you're talking about Houston, Texas.
Well, I would just like to point out, I'm not some weirdo or like some sort of person that tracks down people on
Okay, here
LinkedIn.
I know a
Don't
good one.
What town you live in?
Here's where I think you'll know.
Down-
Marilyn Monroe sang to
Down-
him.
Yeah, you know that one.
Book depository. That's a clue?
1961 should give you a clue.
Mhm.
Come
was
on.
that?
You
His-
know that.
Known by his
widow?
initials.
His widow.
Did he have a bit of an open air problem?
His widow married
And there's
Onassis.
an airport as well, isn't it?
Yes,
Did
It's
he
in New York.
have an open air problem?
Come on.
Look at the chat, the comments. They're already putting the answer in there.
No, I can't look at that. I can't see that side of the screen. We've had this discussion in some of these things before. I think
He's one of those people that you remember where you are when he was shot. It's like people remember where you were when John Lennon was shot. You remember when this guy was shot.
you are definitely older than me, Paul. I would like to point out I was barely born. Oh, in 1961, I wasn't even born.
And don't say Lincoln.
Was it Lincoln? Oh, no, sorry. It would be
Don't say that.
Biden. He's old enough to do. No,
He's not been shot.
yet.
And it's not JR either.
Okay, I'm going to say
Happy
JFK.
birthday to
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah, you got it. Good job. Yes, we needed that. Good job.
That's
Yes, we needed
Joseph
that.
Fennell Trimble.
Huh?
JFK, Joseph Fennell Trimble. That was the president.
No.
Yeah?
Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
That's
Fitzgerald.
close enough. Do you want to hear really random trivia about that? So
No.
JFK was shot and
You
killed,
just-
right? So Abraham Lincoln was also shot. Well, apparently they have lived very parallel but opposite lives.
I heard about
So there's like all these like connections that they make between them. So, I'm messing it up because it's popping up in my head now, but because now I'm thinking Kimball for some random reason. Thank you, Matt. I know, but yeah, no. There's like if you actually Google the connection between JFK and Abraham Lincoln,
Yeah.
you'll see it. Like, how does it go, Omar? It was like Lincoln's secretary was last name Kennedy, his like personal assistant, or I forgot, some administration person. And under Kennedy, there's a guy last name Lincoln that was like his undersecretary or whatever like that. It was just really random stuff.
Yeah, I heard it. I
Pretty.
don't know the details, but I know what you mean. Yeah, I remember it because I tend to remember stuff from school and stuff. So yeah.
I've got a random fact that relates to that. I used to have a teacher when I was about 3, and his name was Mr. Lincoln. Yeah.
There you go. See?
Yeah.
Keep drinking. Anyway, who won?
You all won.
Yeah.
I got
When you
all
come
the
on my
answers
real
right.
show, you guys get a prize, actually. Yeah, Jamie and Dan, they got a prize. They got $100. So when I do season 4 in the fall time, maybe one of you guys will be the winners.
That was fun. Thank you.
I did a kids edition, so on the channel on YouTube, you can check it out. I did the kids episode. I have about maybe 20 or 25 episodes uploaded already. So I do kids, college students, tournaments, couples, whatever. So
You're going to be doing something special soon as well, aren't you, Omar?
oh yes, we're gonna be having a meeting soon.
Yeah,
Mr.
yeah. Omar and I are going to be
Yeah, I
doing
think
something
it's
special together.
That'll be cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Something to do with the quiz, though, Omar, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely.
Good. Right, so we are over the hour. Does anybody have something optimistic to say on leaving?
Yes, I'm saying something very optimistic. I'm away for a 3-day Toastmasters conference. We have our district Toastmasters conference, and I've been part of the planning team in the background. That's why you didn't see me a lot. And we will be crowning international speech winner to go through to hopefully semi-final and the world champion.
Wow.
Wow.
Pretty exciting
Nice.
day, and it's all about growth, optimism, celebration, and really looking back. This is the first in-person event again, which is really lovely, in hybrid style.
Wow.
I've just posted something cute on LinkedIn, so have a look.
Is it me? I'm cute.
Everyone.
Yeah, okay. That's cool. I would like to point out, hands up if you've heard of Toastmasters.
You see?
So I've never heard of this thing until I met Goulet. Seriously, I've never heard of it before in my life. Just no idea. And then since I've met Goulet, I have literally maybe found like 10 people that on their profile thing it says about Toastmasters, and I was like, what on earth is this thing? But it's a very good thing. Yeah,
It's a very good thing. It's personal growth, and again, it's the best platform for people to practice and get their voice heard.
there are other platforms
And
available.
there is we've got a Rotary person doing a workshop as well on Sunday, I believe. So yeah, we're in connection with the Rotary guys.
How cool is that?
It is.
Anybody else?
I'm just
Well,
happy to be here, you guys. Thank you, Matt. Thanks for inviting me. It was a last minute thing. So yay. If we're not connected, I'd love to connect with all of you guys.
And I'm
Yeah,
just going to
same.
say it's a double whammy because it's Mother's Day on Sunday, and I've already had one. Because of England, there's a different one.
That's right.
But it's America Mother's Day this Sunday. So celebrate all mums and
I
grandmoms.
didn't know that, so thank you for telling me.
much.
I can put a
Yeah.
post. I might put my video up of my mum. So my mum's a lovely old lady. She's around Pauline's age, and my mum and I made a video that's a bit of a Mickey take out of Google and their advertising. Some people have probably already seen it because I put it up on Mother's Day to England, but maybe I'll put that up again for American Mother's Day. And then you can all see my lovely old mum and me eating dog food. Trust me, it's worth it. Anyway, you must all be going now. It's been a pleasure to meet you. Wave, say goodbye.
Hi.
Wish everybody good optimism for the future.
We'll have a dance. Pauline, let's do a salsa.
No, that's next week. People are going now. Look. Omar, you stay in the green room. We need to chat. So that was this evening's show. Thank you very much for coming along. I don't think I read out everybody's names. I know some of them that I haven't mentioned is probably Shona and Abimbola. Those are the only other ones that I've recognized that I didn't say earlier from what I remember, but I have a very bad memory. So yeah, thank you very much for coming along. I hope you feel optimistic for the future filled with old people and young people, a future that's filled with optimism for something more beneficial for us all, a future that's filled with optimism for a future that means true benefit for us all, and an optimistic future that means that we can all live healthier, wealthier, happier lives, because those are the things that matter to us, because they're important for us to live our lives properly with love and peace and joy. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope to see you again next week. Here is my short outro video. Thank you very much.